All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are doing Don't Say This, Say That corporate edition. So obviously at work, you're going through your day-to-day business. There's a lot of times where you just want to give your colleagues or someone a spray because they're just annoying. But obviously you're in a professional setting, so you can't actually say what's on your mind, truly. So you have to deliver what you want in a more professional setting. And we're here as the experts to take you through that. So don't say, "You absolute clown, you clearly did not read the document I sent you 3 times." Instead, just say, "Look, happy to walk you through the details again. They're outlined in the document I shared earlier."
Good. That happens a lot, I feel, where people just glaze over your past emails, whatever, and they just ask again.
They glaze over it.
They glaze over the email, they glaze over you, they glaze over everything. You just got to remind them in a nice way. You can't give them a verbal.
No, you can't give them a spray. But if they constantly do it, it's the most annoying thing. It's like I've documented everything perfectly. If you would just read it, you would understand everything. But instead, you're asking me and you're not even asking me, "Hey, what's in the email?" You're saying, "Hey," waiting for me to reply, and then asking your request, which is what grinds my gears.
Is there any scenario where you can spray someone in the office?
Not in writing. Never in writing.
What, verbally is fine?
Verbally is a he said.
Verbal
is a he said, she said situation. If it's on paper, you're done.
Yeah, that's true. I think
I
verbally,
would say
that's
verbal's worse. I'd rather do it in writing, dude.
No, honestly, the optimal one is on the phone. That is a no witnesses type situation.
All right, my next one is, don't say, "I had a 3-day bender, I didn't stop drinking, I did some illicit drugs, and I woke up in another state," when you're asked about your weekend. You should say, "Didn't get up too much, just met up with some friends." Never reveal what you've done, regardless of what it is.
The thing is, right, even when I do nothing, I'll still say, "Oh yeah, it was all right, just caught up with friends, partner, that's it." Even if I did a lot of things or if I did nothing, I give the same response.
Because I feel like it's guaranteed no follow-ups.
So don't say, "Scroll up, dickhead." Say, "As per my previous email."
Yeah.
It's another good one. That's another good one.
Scroll up. That's a classic of the genre. All right, don't say, "I love how I did 99% of the work and then you took my idea and presented it as your own." Instead, just say, "Great to see the project shared. Happy to share in the success behind the scenes."
Nothing about synergies.
No synergies. Just take the high road.
Have you ever seen anyone do that? Has anyone ever actually stolen
No, I've never worked in a job where
collaboration?
Yeah, really,
exists?
honestly. Yeah, it's like when I was in sales, I mean, who's going to actually, no.
I was going to say that would be the prime where people are trying to snake you.
No, but they don't steal your ideas, but some of them will steal your deals.
They steal your sales.
Yeah. So actually that's an interesting one. I had a situation where I snaked a guy from the Ireland office. So what happens is I was like an SDR at the time and my compensation and my commissions were based on how many opportunities I found. So I would call people, and then if it was an opportunity, I'd pass it on to my rep to close the deal, right? And so your job is to create the opportunities. The account executives, their job is to close the deals. Now, this Irish sales rep, and so I was in Australia, so my territory is APAC. So this Irish guy, he basically created an opportunity in Guam, and it was kind of a gray area about who owns this, except technically that's in the APAC region. Technically that's ours. So he's created the opportunity in Salesforce. I have then seen it in Salesforce. I'm like, "Mate, you don't own this." I've changed the owner to myself, passed it on to my sales rep. He closed the deal. We were all laughing. Then we get to sales kickoff where all the sales reps are invited and he's an SDR. I'm an SDR. We're in the same room. That was honestly quite an uncomfortable situation I put myself in.
That's pretty bad juju from you, I'm not gonna lie.
No, but it's not his. He was trying to steal.
Did you at least talk to him?
No, of course not. He's trying to steal off me, so I stole it back. And that's the dog-eat-dog world. But I've never had my ideas stolen. I feel like that is really bad.
IP is bad. You can't be stealing that.
I've seen credit stolen in terms of, the team does, as in the team does work. And then the person that's in charge of the email says, "I have, done this. I have actioned this. I have done the report."
I hate people who do that.
It's poor leadership.
I always say we.
Regardless of who's done it, be political.
Except for when we fuck it up, it's so-and-so did this.
The team.
The team.
Offload duties. All right, don't say, "This meeting has been an absolute waste of my time and I can't stand another minute of this yapping." Say, sorry team, I've got to jump. Regardless of where the meeting's at, you can throw this line in and just close the window.
No, you're not regardless of any time. You can't like
You
10 minutes after the meeting is started, be like, sorry guys, got to bounce.
You can.
Nah,
You got to clash. Say you got to clash.
I feel like you can only do it either half an hour or an hour after into a meeting.
Very set intervals.
You can do this anytime. I back it.
Don't say, no, I'm not coming to your 12:30 meeting, you psycho, I need to eat. You say, unfortunately, I have to decline this meeting due to an urgent deliverable.
Deliverable being your lunch
Food.
coming in.
The food being delivered to me into my stomach.
It's good.
All right, mine's similar to yours, Manu. Don't say, this meeting was the biggest waste of my time. It could have been a Slack or an email. Instead say, in future, I'd love to explore more async ways we can work as a team.
What does that
Never
even
heard that
mean,
word
bro?
before.
Async?
No.
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, dude, that's a very common jargon in my workplace.
Is your workplace very agile?
Yeah. It's like the same thing. It's like, why would you do it? It's async. You know, can we do this async? That's not a thing.
I've never once heard that.
Never heard that, brother.
That's really shocking. All right, fair enough.
Now, that's a new one for us to pick up, Senny.
Async.
Maybe introduce
Isn't that
word-
where I wash
jargon.
my hands?
No, introduce that jargon to your workplace. I'm sure it'll come across. You know,
I think
very
Senny's
well.
going to be
sure
shown
they'll
the door, bro.
I'm sure they'll love me for that.
All right, next one. Don't say you're an idiot for your mistake and everyone needs to know about this. Instead, say I've CC'd in so-and-so for visibility.
Yeah. Just pass the parcel. Do one of
Exactly,
these
mate.
ones. Call it a
You
day.
CC in the boss.
Yeah,
If they've made a mistake, you CC in the boss, visibility, and you let the cogs turn.
Or if you've emailed someone and they haven't replied to you, and then a couple of days later you want to follow up, then you CC their boss so they know that this person's being useless.
And it's always for visibility.
Yeah, for visibility.
Of
That's
course.
aggressive. I hate when that happens. Like sometimes, like you can make a mistake, and then they, like in my office, we use Slack, right? So like maybe you made a bit of a blunder, and instead of DMing you personally, they'll put it in the Slack
Group
channel.
chat?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not on.
that's too aggressive.
That's
That's, too
not on.
public. At least with the email, it seems a bit more professional still. Don't say, your idea fucking sucks and you're really annoying me. Just say, let's put a pin in this and circle back.
Never with the intention to circle back. Never.
Never. I don't think I've ever circled back or forward or in any direction, really.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Like actually, that's what I find most difficult potentially. It's like, how do you know, it's maybe not the best idea and you don't really want to do it, but you have to politely decline it. That's a really annoying way to do it though.
Put a pin in this?
Yeah, put a pin in it. Like
you're derailing it. It's actually a heartbreaking one to hear. But it also, you've gone off track then.
Yeah. It gives you personal feedback to know that, you know what, the idea was not good, but it's also just like, can you stop wringing my neck? Can you stop doing that? Oh, goodness me. All right. Don't say, I'm literally on the verge of having a breakdown if one more thing goes wrong. Please don't give me any more work. Instead say, I'm currently at full capacity and would actually benefit from additional support or reprioritization.
It's always the full capacity.
That's how you get put on a performance plan, I feel.
That's how you get your capacity reviewed.
PIP 101. Have you ever heard of anyone surviving off being on a PIP? I feel like once you get put on a PIP, that's the death knell, dude. Your days are numbered. Brush up the resume, brother.
I've never hung around the circles where people are getting put on pips.
That's true. That is true.
Buy Microsoft Word because you're going to need it for $150. Now in sales, people get put on pips all the time.
Oh, really?
I had a guy who survived 3 pips. Yeah, insane.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Died and born again.
That's insane. Surely after the second one, this guy's like, I need to get out of
You
here.
needed to do the 3-peat, brother.
No, because the thing is, the whole point of a pip is like, it is like a measurable way for them to be like, you are not, performing, so we're going to fire you. So in sales, obviously, it's like, all right, you need to hit this number for the next month.
But don't you already have that, your sales targets?
Yeah, I know. And then if you don't hit it, that's when you get put on a pip. And then in the pip, it's like make or break. You have to be hitting, $15,000
So this
a
guy
month.
clutched up 3.
Dude, one of the coldest performances of all time.
Maybe this guy just always needs to be on a pip. It seems like he just rests on his laurels and just coasts the rest of the time.
Needs
And
that
then
pressure, bro.
Dude,
He's like LeBron Game 7 just dials in when he's on a pip.
yeah, he was locked in like 3 times. Like year 1, pip. He's locked in. Year 2, locked in again, dude.
The HR guy's like, oh, not again. Wait, we went through this twice already.
Bro, the management were begging to get rid of him, but they just couldn't.
Whatever happened to him in the end?
He just left the job.
On his own accord?
Yeah, on his own accord.
Okay, so he got the gist. He
Yeah.
read between the lines.
All right, don't say, I barely know what I'm talking about. What makes you think I know the answer to your question? Instead, say, we'll look into that and I'll circle back later. I hate a presentation with follow-up questions because I know no answers.
I feel like I've used this, to be honest. Like, I've just put my hand up, like, brother, I got no idea. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, I think it depends on who you're presenting to. Like, if you can't be honest, then it's like let me speak to the team and get back to you. Like, oftentimes I get technical questions, which I'm not qualified to answer. Mate, you just offload it to the engineer. I speak to the engineers. I'll get back to you soon. But I just circle back is the thing that grinds my gears. I can't bring myself to say it.
Yeah, the worst thing is to be honest and like try and bullshit your way through, and then you just look like a clown. You lose all credibility after that. Don't say, this solution sounds too expensive. Let's just ignore the problem for now. Say, let's kick the can down the road.
A classic of the genre, mate. Just kick it as far as possible.
As far as you can, preferably when I'm not here.
Yeah, when I'm on leave. Don't say you literally gave me a week's worth of work and expect me to complete it in one day. How am I supposed to do that? Instead say something like, look, to ensure quality delivery, could we perhaps discuss a more realistic timeline to reprioritize my current tasks?
That's a good one. Yeah, I hate being, just hospital past the task, with the 1 day to go. And they're like, why have you not delivered?
Yeah, now you're rattled. Now you got to try and, either get it done, you got to pull an all-nighter.
To be fair, that's probably the one scenario where a spray is okay, I reckon. When
Back
someone's done you so dirty, yeah, it's just like, fuck.
Have you ever had that happen where they can do it as well?
Oh, yeah.
Like they have either the capacity or the ability to do it, but they've just decided to offload it to you.
Or it's in their team's remit.
Yeah.
And somehow it's your problem.
Yeah, it's a tricky one because if they're a superior, you can't say anything. And you're probably, at this point in our careers at least, like probably one of the more junior people.
Yeah.
So you can't
limit your career by pushing back.
Exactly.
All right. Instead of saying, when did I ask, when someone gives their unsolicited opinion in a meeting, instead say, thanks for your input. And then you move swiftly on. You mention nothing about what they've said and you continue on with your presentation.
Yeah, I would love to see someone in a meeting just be like, when did I ask? Like, please.
I've got a similar one. Instead of saying, shut up, Greg, you're balding and divorced, just say, appreciate the feedback. I'll reflect upon it.
Bro, some people think they've got God's gift in terms of opinions and perspectives. Mate, shut up. Just shut up.
Shoosh, bro.
All right, that's all we have today. I hope that helped, you navigate your tricky situations at work. If you have any more, please DM us. We'd love to hear them. Any other situations as well?
Let us know.